There's just something about the talking stage that doesn't sit right with many people. It's that stage where, if you're not careful, it might be difficult to even understand what you're doing with that person. Like, what exactly are we doing? Are we friends? Are we dating? Are we friends with benefits? I mean, what are we doing? What are we trying to do? What are we trying to get to? And people have many hilarious stories of different experiences of talking stages that they might have had at some point in their lives. Anyways, for this week's video, we're doing a little bit of a story time. So over the past couple of weeks, I sent out a message to you guys on my social media, and I'm like, hey guys, send in some of your hilarious or awkward or even in some cases tragic experiences that you might have had in a talking stage. And or more, you guys did not disappoint. So in this video, we're going to be looking at some of the stories that some of you guys sent me. Now, it was anonymous, so I don't know the names of the people who sent it to me, which makes it all the more fun, right? Let's get into it. So yeah, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Goodness Eze. I am a multimedia creative, and this is my YouTube channel where we gist, right? Where we talk about stuff, where we talk about life, we talk about love, we talk about relationships, we talk about stuff that actually matter in the real world. On this channel, we try to have discussions that people might be afraid to have. We do have difficult discussions here. This one is not one of the difficult discussions, right? But for the other difficult ones, you can check out our other videos. We have a lot of conversations like that. But today's video is a little bit of a light-hearted one. If you're new, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Help us to grow. Want to get to 1,000 subscribers as quick as possible. And also like the video so that the algorithm would show more people this video. So let's take a look at the first story that I got. So I'm going to be sharing 4 stories that I received, and but let's get into it. Let's get into the first one. Now, this person says, I was once in a talking stage with someone for like 3 months or so. Me, I just wanted to get to know her, but in her mind, we're already dating. It was a lot. Honestly, this right here is the danger of undefined relationships. Now, we're going to do a video maybe next week or the week after, where we're going to actually delve deep into talking stages. I've been hinting at this video for a while now, and like I said before, I'm hinting at bringing someone for this video because you see, talking stage can be very important. It is actually very important, because you see, this, when talking stage is not done properly, this is what happens. You're in talking stage with 3 months, right, with a person, and the person already thinks you're in a relationship. And most likely, I'm sure in this case, the person will be calling you every day. The person will be, reaching out to you every day, sending you good morning texts and all of those things. And in fact, in the person's head, I think it's a she. Yeah, it's a she. It said in her mind. In her head, she's already like, she has envisioned your wedding day. She has seen herself in the wedding gown, walking down the aisle to meet you at the altar. I mean, she has pictured the whole thing already. But left to you, you are still the one that's trying to calculate. And it happens like that many times. Like, it happens a lot like that. Many ladies are very visual, right? They can get so emotionally attached to a person, and they already start to visualize everything. In fact, in her mind, she knows the name of your first 3 children. Now, you just did there, you never know. She knows the name of your first 3 children. She has named them already, right? And again, like I said, it's just the danger of undefined relationships. From these, I can literally say rule number 1 of a talking stage is communicate your expectations early. Like, don't lead the person down the road for 3 months, and then the person is already seeing the future and then you're not quite on the same page with the person. I mean, both of you are at fault, to be fair, or both of you were at fault, to be fair. But right, you should have just communicated expectations early and just be like, oh, this is this, that is that, and let her know what to expect, instead of just leading her on, like we say. And it must have been difficult for her. The next one is not so much of a story, it's sort of like a question with a story. And then this one says, does talking stage have to include sex? Because I was in one and that was all he wanted to do. Again, this question will be answered in full when we have the full episode on talking stages. But what I'll first of all say here is that it is called talking stage, not testing stage. It is talking stage. You're meant to talk in talking stage. And if you're a believer, if you're a child of God, which I believe you are, it's not even an option. Like, it's not an option. It's already like one of the biggest red flags you can find. Not just even in a talking stage. If you're in a dating relationship and the person you're dating is looking forward to, like, someone we all know will call it sweating activities, it's a massive red flag. It's a talking stage. And I've said it on this channel before. The moment you start getting sexually involved with the person you're either in a talking stage with or in a relationship with, that is all you would ever do. Like, that is literally the only thing you would be doing. Talking, getting to know each other, discussing what your future would be like, and all these other important things, praying together, studying together, all these important things that should matter in a dating relationship or in a talking stage, you wouldn't be doing them anymore, because the moment you start tasting, that's all you're going to be doing. So it's a no-go area. So to answer the question directly, does talking stage have to involve sex? No. Not does it have to, it should not, it does not, it will not, it will never, it shouldn't. It's for talking, it's for getting to know each other, it's for seeing if you guys are actually on the same page largely, and you could actually progress into having something more substantial. But like I said, this question will be answered fully when we have the full episode on talking stages. Now, this next one absolutely cracked me up. This person says, I ended a talking stage because I heard him shouting at his sister on the phone. Me, that if you shout at me, I will start crying. I better go. Honestly, I don't blame her at all. Like, sis, I do not blame you in the slightest. Because here's the truth. If he cannot be gentle with his family, if he cannot be gentle with the people person he literally, I believe, literally grew up with. Now, I don't know what might have led to him shouting at her, yelling at her, right? But it means he can yell at you if he can yell at his sister. And if you say that you are someone that you do not like being yelled at or more, it might be a matter of time, right? So I take it to mean that you said it yourself that you have ended the talking stage. So I mean, that's basically the best thing you could do there, because again, like I said, if he does it at his family, then you are next in line for the miracle. You are next in line. This might seem like something very little to some people, but only you would understand, because I've met a couple of persons, right, that they, like, when you start shouting at them, they just start crying, right? They don't there's no how you want to convince them that you love them by shouting at them. Like, there's no how. Even if they did something wrong and you're just trying to scold them, the moment you just start raising your voice, it is like there's nothing else you say that will make them believe that you love them. Like, there's nothing else you say. So if you are like that, then you're doing yourself a huge disservice by being in a relationship with someone who yells at people, because the person will eventually yell at you. So sometimes it's these little red flags that can eventually save you from a lifetime of emotional chaos, right? So the best thing to do in this stage is run for your life. Literally. And here's the final story. Now, this person says, one of my talking stages ended because he was adamant that he wanted his woman to stay at home, not me. I love this one because this is a classic example of values clash. And for me, this is the perfect way to end this video, because it brings me to one very important point, that talking stages do not necessarily have to end in a heartbreak. In fact, in the most ideal situation, when it has to end, it should end in a realization that we are just on different wavelengths. We want different things. It doesn't mean it is necessarily bad, but we just want different things, and we can't give ourselves what we want. So let's respectfully and amicably go our separate ways. That's how it should end, peaceably, respectfully, and with common sense. So that's the ideal situation, coming to a realization that We want different things. We are different persons. We are on different trajectories in life, and it's fine. It's perfectly okay. You know, the good thing is, if a talking stage ends that way, it doesn't mean that that's the end of that relationship. You guys can still make a lot more out of that relationship. In fact, there might have been a different reason why God brought you guys together, maybe as business partners or a mentor mentee relationship or something. There might be something. And if you guys get into a talking stage and it didn't work out, and you end it in this amicable way, it's the ideal situation. A lot of things can still happen between both of you guys going forward that will benefit each of you mutually. So one person is saying that, hey, I want a stay at home woman. I want someone who would stay at home, take care of the house, take care of the kids, and all of that. Well, it's another conversation if that is right, especially in this age and time that we are in now. That's a different conversation for another day. But if that's what he wants and you don't see yourself doing that, oh yeah, now, no wahala, right? No wahala. That's a good enough reason to just say, oh, you have certain values, I have certain values. It looks like they clash, and happy days. Have a good life, and everybody is happy. It's better than forcing things, trying to force things and getting to the point where it just, the whole thing just comes to a crash. And you guys might, go your separate ways and end up even disliking each other and not talking to each other again. It's better to, that's the beauty of talking stages, right? Find out, can this thing work, right? If it can work, oh, bless God. If it cannot work, no problem. We move, without having, hard feelings anywhere or anything. So you see, the talking stage can be confusing, can be messy sometimes. And, as you have seen in some of these messages, it can be quite funny. But it's one very, very vital part of a relationship. And, if you don't get it right, it could potentially be a problem, right? If you don't ask the right questions during your talking stage, it could end up being the reason why a relationship goes sour or prospers. Ask the right questions, pay attention, shine your eyes, observe things, do it like you are scouting for a job or something. It should be that meticulous. And I know some people will be like, kuleto here, or in English, it's not that, it shouldn't be that serious. It is that serious. It is that serious. You better believe it is that serious, because it, like I said, it can literally be the difference why a relationship turns sour or prospers at the end of the day. That's where we draw the curtains on this particular video. It's been an interesting time. I've really enjoyed doing this. So please, if you've enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe to our channel as well. We have, from time to time, we do these story times. I did a couple of story time. I did one with my friend NK where we talked about our friendship. I did one, my very first video on this channel was a story time where I talked about my experiences getting depressed, as a student fellowship leader, right? And there are definitely more story times coming. I am a storyteller. I'm a filmmaker and I write stories. I tell stories. So thank you for watching. My name is Goodness Eze. See you on the next video, which will be next week by the grace of God. Adios.